Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 4 of Europa Universalis IV as Japan. We are starting to grow relatively quickly, certainly a lot more quickly than we would be if we were doing this diplomatically, so I'm happy about that. We could gain some admin power if we were willing to lose a little bit of prestige or legitimacy, or we could just gain some prestige for cash. Let's take the prestige. And let's go ahead and make sure we've got these other trade vessels that I built and forgot to actually send out because I built them in other provinces. So you can go off to the Nippon trade route. Also, let's just quickly go up to the trade map mode. We could potentially now send a merchant up here. You can transfer trade power down towards our trade node. And there isn't really any point in forwarding from anywhere else because unless we can actually get somebody over here, nothing else flows into our trade node. We could, of course, go and collect over here. Let's, while we're waiting for stuff to happen, because we are just sitting around at the moment waiting for stuff to tick, let's just have a look what our trade is. So trade is currently 1.56. Let's go and remove this merchant here, see what happens at the end of the month. So 1.56 is what we were getting. We remove you from the home trade node. We go down to 1.38. Let's go and get you to collect in this trade node. Yeah, collect trade. No, you are going to be doing it. Okay. You're going to arrive there in a few days. Says you're collecting, but I just can't see you on the list. Collecting 0. There we go. You're now doing something. So we're at 1.56. I doubt he's going to be making a lot of difference. We'll just wait until we get to December. Lose money for prestige or lose admin power. Again, getting the prestige is always nice. 1.34. So what we are going to do is we are going to recall you from there and we are going to get you to collect your in transit so you can't do anything. So we'll just wait for you to get home and you're going to collect trade from there. So that should put us back up to around about 1.56, more or less. 1.57, there we go. So that's definitely the best we can get out of our trade at the moment. I'm fine with that. We are still making money. Of course, we could find some excuses to go to war with some more of the daimyos. Ming broke their alliance with us. Fine. I don't know why they wanted the alliance with us in the first place. It did seem a little bit strange. Jiangsu is still alive for the time being. I'm not sure how much longer they will be around for. Force limits haven't changed, so we're still good. Navy's doing okay. Another thing to be careful of course, when you are using the Diplo annexation method, is that once you start to Diplo annex your subjects, you will inherit their armies, which can also... I mean, this doesn't just apply to Japan, this is any nation you're playing as. If you like to play up close to your force limit, and then you start Diplo annexing nations... you'll suddenly find that you've got lots of extra armies and navies dotted around the map because the AI is terrible for splitting everything up. Something I forgot to mention in the first couple of videos as well. Another one of the reasons why I don't particularly like playing as the daimyos. In order to win your wars, you're pretty much relying on your AI allies helping you out in a battle. And the AI in this game is notoriously bad for just buggering off and doing its own thing and leaving you to die. So, you know, it's very, very difficult trying to... I mean, yeah, if you can do it, fantastic. It's a great challenge, but it's very, very tricky to actually get it to work. 5 more prestige and 25 Diplo power. Almost wish I'd have taken the prestige mission now. So we only have one more mission at the moment, which is to conquer Okinawa, which would give us yearly prestige and manpower recovery. Let's go ahead and take the mission, because hell, why not? We've got nothing better to do. I don't know how many troops they've got down there. I don't know if they've got any troops down there at all. I haven't seen any. But we can certainly go off and drop some infantry down there. We're already getting a a transport or two. What I'm actually going to do is bring this transport down here, and I might have a look and just actually see if they have any troops. I honestly don't think they have. I guess we could actually check that out, to be honest. So you are Ryo Q. So it sounds like a special move out of Street Fighter. Let's go and have a look at military armies. And we want Ryo Q. Now apparently, somewhere, he's got 6,000 men. Does he own more land? Are they on that land but we just can't see them? I don't know. Either way, we're probably going to need more transports, because the problem we're going to have with that is we can't do a sea landing 3 against 6. That's just not going to work. So we will go ahead and get a few more cogs queued up. Now the thing about naval limit is if you go over your naval limit, the penalty isn't nearly as bad as it is if you go over your land force limit. But I'm very, very surprised that... Because look, I just can't see... Even when I've got ships down nearby, I can't actually see any other provinces from them. I mean, what do you have? You don't have any allies at all. I honestly can't... Ah, there we go. They do have a 6 stack. Now then. Let's just pause up because I want to deal with this event. So, we can lose some trade power in a node that we're not really that bothered about. Well, we don't want to lose mercantilism, so we're going to have to take that and then we'll sort the merchant out. Now, is this is all one island? Okay. So it's all one island. It's the only island he has, and he has 6,000 men on it. And he also has 1 galley and 3 transports. Well, the galley we could deal with, because we can just go and send our lights down there with it to escort it. So that's not too bad at all. We're up to December 1454, which now means we can go and annex this vassal. So let's go ahead and do that. It will take quite some time. In fact, it will take... Where is it? It tells you down here. So it's going to take up until October 1459. So it is going to take... It's not too bad, actually. It's only about 4 years. I was expecting a lot longer. Of course, that does make it a lot more difficult to try and integrate somebody else. But what we could do is we could go and start annexing this guy at about the same time. Admin power and prestige versus money. Difficult one. Admin power is good, but so is money. And we don't have a lot of money. We might need some. Prestige is also good, though. And we are making money. We're not losing money. Let's go ahead and recall that diplomat. We don't need you to be sucking up right now. So, we have... Hosokawa has declared war on Hatakeyama. So... These guys have declared war on these guys. Now, I've got the admin points. I could go ahead and get involved in that war. I probably won't be able to take anything from them, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. We want to tell you to enforce peace. Cannot enforce peace on the defender in a war. So we'd have to do it on these guys. Well, that's fine. We can do that. Enforce peace. And of course they're going to go, no, screw you. So... If that's the case, we are going to go in and attempt to crush your army. Should be easily done. Let's detach a siege and move the rest of you back out safely. Now, there are also enemy ships around, which is a little bit dangerous for our navy. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. They should be well and truly blockaded. My navy is actually on go home at war, which... They probably don't need to be on for this war, so let me just untick that and let them carry on and attempt to get some more money for us as time goes on. And then what we'll do, I think we'll just fully annex these guys. It's a 1 province minor. they're not worth the time and the hassle it takes to diplo-vassalize, so we will go ahead and just grab it as quickly as we can. Again, it will probably end up reducing our force limit. As you can see, saying that, we are already over our force limit, so let's go ahead and, unfortunately... can't disband when next to enemy territory, even though he's in my own territory. It's a stupid mechanic. I understand why they put that in there. What a lot of people used to do is if you had an army that was about to be chased down and killed by the enemy, instead of letting the enemy kill your army and gain war score, you just disband your army. And, you know, you were going to lose the troops anyway, but this way you deny your opposition any war score. So now you're not allowed to disband your units if you're in enemy territory or adjacent to enemy territory. Which is stupid because you're in your own territory and you can't disband a unit. What happens if you're a one province minor and you're completely surrounded by enemies? You cannot disband any units ever. Already getting a peace offer here, which is, you know, fantastic because we're only at 3% war score and all we've done so far is beat their navy up a little bit and kill their tiny little insignificant army. But we will wait until we've managed to grab this province. We've got plenty of admin power to core. We've got plenty of manpower. I mean, we don't have plenty of manpower, but we're at the cap, nearly, so that is a good thing. Now, the annexing is going quite quickly. The annexing of this one is going faster, which is probably what I'd expect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's not based on the number of provinces, it's based on the total development, but, you know, obviously, normally, the more provinces, the more development. But that's fine. One or more of our subjects have high liberty desire. That is Imagawa. So let's go ahead and... Why do you have high liberty desire? You're the yellow guy. So, do you know what? I'm not going to do anything about it. If you want to rise up against me, if you want to break our vassalization and give me a subjugation CB against you, by all means, go right ahead. I don't have any problems with that at all. So we're getting quite close now. 1, 2... I guess I could just check how many provinces I've got by going into here. It would be a lot easier. What if I could always remember which flipping screen it was on, which I never can. We have... that's not the right screen. Yeah, I was right. We have 9 provinces. We need 15. So by the time we've done this annexation, we should be about there. But again, we will try and get most of the other guys as part of Japan before we pop the button. So if you haven't seen that event, because I know I haven't really lingered on it, if we go in here, we have this Unite Japan option. So basically, we need not to be a subject nation, we need to be at peace, and we need to own 15 provinces or 15 cities. Basically, our government changes to a feudal monarchy. And it currently shows you the list of all of the current daimyos that aren't, or that still exist. Their government also changes to a feudal monarchy, so they no longer become our vassal, and we lose various cores and stuff like that. There's also this Japan is United option down here, which is basically if there are no daimyos left, we pop this button, and basically we can get 100 legitimacy and 100 of all of the powers, plus an extra diplomat. I think we can still... I think you can do both of them. I think you can do that one and then that one, actually. But I think just as long as all of the daimyos have gone, you can actually pop that button. And we've also got Enforce Our Heritage, which is... It can be useful later on. There's a certain event that Japan can get where they meet someone from the West, and it does give you... The event gives you cheaper technology costs by 5%, which is still not all that great when you consider that, you know, Japan, being of the Chinese tech group, has 160% technology cost anyway. But it is quite nice because it does give you cheaper tech cost. Unfortunately, most of the events that go along with it are negative events, and it also starts to convert some of your provinces to Catholicism. So you and your priests basically become useless. So your missionaries. So that's why you have to use that event. But anyway, we'll deal with that when we come to it. We have won this war. We're at 100%. So of course we want to take your province, and we want to take all your money. You've only got 47 ducats, but I'll take them. So your ships should just disappear there. There we go. So we have another province to core. So let's go ahead and core it. Quite expensive, actually. 17 development. Actually not bad. We'll also go ahead and bump up the autonomy. We're currently not getting any unrest because we have troops there. We'll leave those troops there. We'll go and take these ships. And we'll put these... are you both transports? Yep, you're both transports. So we'll go and put all these ships down there. We might be able to go and take Okinawa now. Rest of our trade fleet is doing what the trade fleet should be doing. We'll put it on to go home at war. The only reason I toggle that on is because sometimes I end up getting into a war and just forgetting that I've got ships out there, and that's the point where they usually get wrecked. So let's group those guys up. Now we could go in here and attack them and go 6 on 6. I mean, it does seem very strange because we would get a naval landing, which is very risky. It's very risky indeed. We are now down below our force limit again. That will probably drop at some point. Let's go ahead and just get another unit built though, because we'll probably end up losing some units. If I do try this attack on them, it could be very, very risky. Now, what's our naval maintenance? Because we should be over the naval limit. We are over the naval limit by 2. And if we go ahead and look at our fleet maintenance, it's only 0.83. The cost for actually being over the limit is almost non-existent. I'm not saying that you should go out and be over your limit, but it's certainly nowhere near as important as being over your limit when you are playing as... so nowhere near as being important as being over your land force limit modifier, because that can actually cripple your economy quite easily. So we're already 32% of the way through our annexation on Usugi. So it won't be long before we get those guys integrated. We've got some admin points, so we'll have enough to take Okinawa. I mean, we've got a mission for it. It's a bit of a crappy location. No offense to anyone watching that's from Okinawa, but just in terms of the game, you know, it's a single island on its own, in its own sea. The only thing that it shares a sea with is one province down here on in Taiwan. So, yeah, it's not really a strategically valuable province, to be quite honest. I suppose it will give us a little bit more colonization range. So again, we can go for that absent merchant for an extra mercantilism. Why not? What is our mercantilism at the moment? Under trade, mercantilism, 13%. That's not too bad. Making 1.83 ducats from trade. So we are going to wait for the rest of these ships. It would be nice if we could tech up to a new military tech, but as you can see, it just takes so long. Even though we're already behind time, it would still be 928 military power, which is still another almost 15 years away before we could get that. Very, very expensive to tech up as the Chinese tech group. So I would just like to wait for a couple more ships. Our truce with Shimanzu has ended. Shimanzu are these guys down here, basically. So we could just go and attempt to ruffle stomp them. We do want to take that province, of course. We'd definitely like to take that away from them. They only have 4,000 men. We are more or less at our manpower cap. I guess there's no reason why we shouldn't. They don't have any allies. We do have the... Mind you, we'd only be annexing them, I think. Oh well, let's go ahead and do it anyway. So we'll do that. We'll march down there with our army. Going to leave these 4,000 men here just so that they can deal with the unrest. Our ships probably will still go home at war. Now what you've got to remember is here, because this is actually a war that I've declared, they're actually... Is this mountains? No, it's hills. It's not helping the old manpower. But because that was a war against a non-vassal, detach a siege, because it was a war against a non-vassal, my vassals actually got involved and helped with the battle. Which doesn't normally happen when you're dealing with the other daimyos. It's a very, very strange mechanic that Japan has, because of course, you know, your vassals are fighting amongst each other, and your vassals are allied to each other. And most of the time, you just let that fighting go on as the shogun, and you don't really get involved with it. So it's a little bit of a tricky thing to have to deal with. They've only got one ship, don't give two hoots about it, so you guys don't need to go home at war. We will need to use our light ships to protect the transports when we go down to take Okinawa, which we will. We're also going to move the rest of the transports in as they come. Again, still going to keep our eye on the force limit. It may well drop down again once we have managed to take this province. We are still getting a little bit of attrition because Usugi have got 5,000 men down here of their own, which is a little bit of a pain in the neck. We're almost halfway through integrating Usugi. We're a third of the way through the integration on Uchi, so they will be part of Japan soon. And yeah, we are only just coming up to 13 years since the start of the game, and we've already unified most of Japan. Admittedly, it doesn't look like it because... Ah, there we go, we have a core. Admittedly, it doesn't look like we've unified most of Japan because there's quite a lot of area here that still isn't ours, but we're very, very close to the integration on those, and then it will be ours. What is the unrest down here at the moment? Minus 1.6 friendly troops are giving +1, so we don't have to worry about the unrest there anymore. Let's move you guys out, group you together. We could just start 2 wars at the same time. There's absolutely no reason why not to. But I think we will be doing that on the next video because, you know, time-wise we are already a little bit over. Let's just group those ships together. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa... Let's try that again. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV as Japan. And I'll see you guys on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.